Hi, everyone. Let's get into Chapter 5, Formulating an Implied Main Idea. Now, remember, in Chapter 3, they gave us 4 clues to use in which to figure out what the topic is of a paragraph. And then in Chapter 4, they talked about 3 areas of a paragraph that you could look for a stated main idea, meaning that that was a sentence you actually picked out of the paragraph that included your topic plus the author's main point about that topic. So in chapter 5, this is going to be our hardest chapter. Here, there is no sentence to pick out of the paragraph. You've got to create that paragraph on your own. And we've got 3 formulas to help us do that. So let's get started. So when authors do not state the main idea directly, it is your job to infer it and write a sentence to express it. Infer basically means to form an opinion from evidence, to read a conclusion based on known facts. In the textbook, you might see that the word implied and the word formulated, they sometimes are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. And when you think of the word formulated, think of it just meaning that you're creating that sentence. So remember, the main idea sentence you formulate or create must always be based on what is presented in the paragraph. So only use the information you have in the paragraph to form that sentence. Don't use any prior knowledge that you might have on the topic. There's 3 reasons why we need to do this. 1, you limit your comprehension unless you can formulate main ideas that are implied. Same within chapter 4 with stated main idea. Unless you can pull out the topic and that main idea the author is writing about, you're going to limit yourself in what you understand about the material. Number 2, when you formulate main ideas, it helps you remember material better. This way, as you're annotating and taking notes, you can create that formula and create that sentence and write it in the margins. And then finally, number 3, college instructors assume that you still read carefully enough to understand both stated and implied main ideas. So they're going to give you material that might not always have the stated main idea, and it might have an implied main idea. And so your instructors are definitely going to want you to understand how to know both. So when you're given a paragraph, this is what you need to do. First, you're going to read that paragraph. Second, you're going to pick the topic. Third, if you can't find a stated main idea, you're going to ask yourself the comprehension monitoring question, which is, what is the most important point the author wants me to infer about the topic in this paragraph? And then you're going to use one of 3 formulas to create that implied main idea sentence. All right, I'm going to stop our first video here, and then in video number 2, we're going to pick up with the first formula.